I know we're all over, but the Bible Belt, I apologize. I was a little ballsy, you know. I didn't have any money when I started, so it didn't scare me to use it when I did. And that, looking back, is one of the ways I've been able to keep growing. And that is, I see money as a tool. Most people, they'll start struggling, they'll start building a business, they'll get a little bit of success going on, and then what do? They remember being broke, so they restrict. They start to hold on to their money. They start to inspect everything. They start to doubt everything. Everything's, sketchy. When in reality, money is just a tool. If you don't use the money that you have, it's worthless. Think about it. If I put $1 million cash on your desk and said, you can look at it all day long, but you cannot touch it, you cannot use it, you cannot spend it, it would only be novel for about a week. Just because you're looking at the $1 million in cash sitting there, 10 million, doesn't matter. You'd be looking at it. Eventually you'd say, Brad, come get this shit off my desk. It's annoying. It's a nuisance. It's taking up room. I don't want it. Right. Because you can't use it. So one thing I want to make sure everybody understands, if they really, and I know this is, purpose to profit, and I'll get to that, but everybody needs to understand money is to be used. If you do not use it, it's worthless. So just remember that every time something comes up. Do you want to advertise? Do you want to invest? Do you want to freaking, hire somebody new? Do you want to scale your business? Do you want to take this chance? So I believe that there's 5 key factors to success. Number 1, you got to take a chance, okay? Or you're going to work for someone who did. Number 2, you got to get good at solving problems, and too many are afraid of problems. They're avoiding problems. They're running from their problems. When in reality, how do we get better at anything? Well, we practice. We do it over and over. You get experience. You start getting better and better at it, right? So guess what? Problems arise. Face those problems. Handle those problems. 3, you need to make adjustments. Most people are afraid to make adjustments because we've been taught all our lives just to stick with it. Just keep going no matter what. You shouldn't keep going no matter what. You need to make adjustments along the way. I started Lightspeed VT, which is one of my companies. It'll do, $50 million this year. I started that company, believe it or not, as a training company. In fact, the real name of the company is Desert Sales Academy. Lightspeed is a DBA. Everyone kept writing a check to Lightspeed VT, even though we were Desert Sales Academy, because we started out as a training organization. Then I went out on the road and all of a sudden made an adjustment. Now I was freaking helping the trainers. Then I made another adjustment. So you have to be willing to make adjustments, okay? Pay attention to the feedback and make adjustments. Step 4, you have to be willing to continue to learn and grow. Most people, once they get real good at something, they kind of stop seeking new information. And that's the crazy part, because if you want to change what you're getting, you have to change what you're doing. And if you want to change what you're doing, you have to change what you believe, because you do what you do because you believe what you believe. So ultimately, how do we change what we believe? There's only one way, and that's get new information. New information is what causes us to think and what causes us to change our opinion, change our behavior, change our choices. Because when it boils down to it, folks, let's keep it real. It's all just a matter of choices. You either did or you didn't. And that's what's crazy with most folks, okay? They want to complicate things. They want to doubt things. And it's mainly because our past, we've made an agreement at some point with somebody, even if it's with ourselves. And that agreement said that we weren't worth it. It's not possible, when in reality, it indeed is. If a 16-year-old can drop out of high school and end up making 100 million plus, it's crazy. But I say all that to say this: the number one, in my opinion, the number one way that you are going to be able to grow and expand and blow up your business is to build a personal brand. My personal brand is going to make me more money than 20 years of hard work. Just a personal brand. Just because you know who I am. Just because you saw me on social media. Just because you've seen me over and over. You start to build familiarity. You start to build trust. So the question is how do we build a personal brand? Now, I had a camera guy one time, and I was just like everybody else, where all I was trying to do was trying to figure out what to say, right? We got to build content. I got to think, what should I do? What should I say? What do people need to hear? What's going to make me look cool? And all the time I was posting content like that. The pictures where I look all, stoic, and there's a cool looking saying down the side, and, what do I think people need to hear today? And I just kept trying to think up content. Well, guess what, folks? I started opening multiple businesses, and unfortunately, I got a little bit busy, so I wasn't worried about content. So Sebastian kept coming in one day, and he kept coming in saying, we got to make content. 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 I'm on the phone with pissed off customer. I'm on the phone with a pissed off employee. I'm on the phone handling this problem and that problem and this problem. And so he just kept coming in. Dude, we got to make content. We got to make content. And finally I got pissed off. He came in. I feel bad for him now, but he came in and he said, dude, we got to make content. And I said, bro, enough already. Just turn on the freaking camera. I am the content. I'm talking to people here. Film the shit. I'm dealing with shit. Film it. And quit worrying about content. And I started to be the content. And so I just started doing what I normally do every single day. I started saying what I would say. I forgot the camera was there. The creative team took that footage and started dropping that footage. And all of a sudden, I started getting a lot of engagement and a lot of followers. And all of a sudden, I started blowing up. Why? Because people want to hear real shit. They want to see real things. And then I look around all my friends and I'm like, dude, you guys got to figure this out, man. This will blow up faster than anything you can do on planet Earth. It takes a minute, but it'll make you more money. I should make 300 to 500 million in the next 3 years, strictly from my personal brand. I started 6 companies based on my personal brand. So I want to talk to you real quick about how do you build that personal brand for yourself. Okay. Number one, you got to understand, you are the content, folks. Most people are afraid to open up their camera and film themselves because of one reason. What are other people going to think? What are other people going to say? Well, folks, who gives a rat's ass what other people think? Who gives a rat's ass what other people say? The reason you're so worried about what other people think is because you don't value what you think. You validate yourself by other people, and that's the problem. That's what I was doing. If you thought I was cool, I was cool. If you thought my girl was hot, she was hot. If you thought she was ugly, well, shit, what am I doing with her? I found myself worried about everybody else's opinion. And until I started figuring out how to worry about my own opinion, how do I validate myself? How do I think for myself? How do I have something to say that I believe in? And I'm not worried about what you believe in. If you don't believe in what I believe in, it doesn't make me bad. And that's the ticket that really turned everything on. So that's what I want to share with you. There are 6 steps that if you apply these 6 steps, you're going to end up in a place where you can really understand yourself a little bit more, and more importantly, value yourself a whole lot more. You're never going to outperform your own self-image. Never going to happen. So you have to raise your self-image if you want to raise your net worth. Okay, you want to make a bunch of profit, live in your purpose, live in your dream. It's not going to be any easier than with a personal brand that everybody knows and everybody sees. They don't have to like you. They have to see you. So getting that camera out, getting that footage out, putting that stuff on social media is required in order to build a personal brand. First thing you got to do in order to do that is understand that your opinion is worth something. So the sacred 6 is what I call these. I'm going to go quick because I only have, 2-3 hours to talk with you today. I'm joking. I only got like 20 minutes. So the sacred 6, number 1, you got to forgive yourself and others. Okay, wipe the slate clean. Your subconscious mind has been recording a lot of things for a lot of years. Okay, all the lies you've told, all the times you've procrastinated, all the things you've let yourself down, it's recorded. It's subconscious. It's below your awareness. You may not realize it. Trust me, it's there. Every smell, every sound, every word that you've ever heard or experienced is there. And you can't erase the memory. You have to replace the memory, if that makes sense. So what you want to do automatically is forgive yourself and others. Second thing, you want to commit to do what you say you're going to do. You have to literally make the decision to do what you say you're going to do and do not allow anything other than that. Step 3, after you've committed to do what you say you're going to do, you got to start racking up the wins. How do you rack up the wins? Well, setting $1 million goals and then coming in at 800,000 is not a win. It's good, nice try, but everybody that loves you and surrounds you and they're encouraging you and telling you it's a good job, folks, it's either a win or a loss. So if you lose a lot, what does that make you? A loser. But if you win a lot, what does that make you?
A winner.
A winner, right? Let's uncomplicate it. So how do I become a winner? I want to feel like a winner. I want to think that I'm a winner. So what do? I start setting realistic goals, smaller goals that can be attained, right? Like, can you brush your teeth? Is that a win or a loss? Dude, you brush your teeth, I guarantee you that's a win. You make your bed, that's a win. You work out, that's a win. You make one more call, that's a win. You make one more step, that is a win. So what you do is you set 10 goals a day that are attainable. You know they're attainable, and you attain them because you do what you say you're going to do. And you're going to start racking up those wins. And believe me, folks, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes 30, 45, 60 days. But pretty soon you start to, stick your chest out a little bit more. You start to walk a little bit taller. You start to feel like you deserve a little bit more. You start to look at your car and look at your surroundings and look at your relationships and you look at your business and you look at your team and you start to realize, I can do better than this. This isn't as good as I can do. What the hell am I doing here? And then guess what'll happen? People will start talking shit about you. People will start saying, who do you think you are? You didn't even graduate. Who do you think you are? You're 5'2". Calm down, chipper. And all of a sudden, most people, they'll start going right back to where they came from. But don't do that. That's rule 4. You got to block the idiots out of your ears. Okay, you literally have to figure out what you're going to allow to be planted into your soil. Your mind is a fertile ground, and what you think about comes about.
Yeah.
You focus on problems, you get more of them. Okay? You plant corn, you get corn. End of story. There's no such thing. You plant wheat, you'll get wheat. Okay? You plant shit, you're going to get shit. So you got to weed out the idiots. You got to get rid of the people talking crap and making you doubt yourself. That's step 4. Get rid of the idiots, including yourself. Stop talking to yourself poorly. I always tell people, you want me to introduce you to someone that can make you a multimillionaire? They're like, yeah. I'm like, go into a bathroom, make sure it's empty, shut the door, look around. You're going to see that sumbitch. And when you look at them, be as nice as you can. Support that person. Kiss their ass. Like, be their best friend. Do whatever they want you to do. That's the person that can freaking make you or break you. That's pretty much the only person that can make you or break you. So you got to get rid of the idiots and make sure nobody's planting crap in your garden. Then step 5, you have to visualize exactly where you want to go in life, man. I ask people, what does success look like? They look around and they think, I don't know. How are you out hunting for something you don't even know what it looks like? Get specific as to what you want in life. Folks, people ask me all the time, what's the key to success? There is no key, man. It's a combination. And everybody has their own. You got to figure out what success looks like to you. Everybody's running around looking for success. Half of them don't even know what it looks like. They don't know if they're moving towards it or away from it. Because if you want to uncomplicate things, man, break it down to a basic choice, a decision. Every day you're faced with a series of choices, a series of decisions. And you make them. And then next thing you know, 10 years later, you're in a shitty situation. Well, you know why you're in the shitty situation you're in? Because you made the choices you made. Quit blaming other people. Quit blaming the damn president. Quit blaming Coach Burt's program. Go look in the damn mirror. You're to blame, folks. You either did something or you didn't do something that you should have.
That's right.
But the hard part is how do we know what to do and what not to do? Well, dude, if you get a map and you visualize exactly what success looks like, and now every day you're making a step either towards or away. Is this going to move me towards or away? It's so simple once you just make it simple. Like, let's say I'm going to get in shape. Okay, should I have a cheeseburger or a freaking, piece of salmon? Well, the cheeseburger, is that going to move me towards my goal or away from my goal? It's easy once you make it easy. It's simple choices. So you have to figure out what that looks like, and then you want to visualize on a daily basis because visualization works. You can look up studies where visualization actually worked. They had 3 basketball teams shoot free throws. One of them practiced, one of them thought about practicing, visualized practicing, and one of them didn't practice. The 2 that did it and thought about it improved. Your mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So you want to imagine yourself there. And you got to be careful with this because a lot of people say, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. You keep saying you're going to be rich. That's always a future tense word. You can't say I'm going to be because it'll never happen because your subconscious mind is going to make you correct. You keep saying I'm going to be, it'll never happen. You are. You have to figure yourself, get that detail and think about where you are. And then once you do that, step 6 is seek new information. Folks, new information. I'm not talking about reading the shampoo bottle while you're sitting on the crapper. I'm talking about new information. Okay, books. Okay, Coach has written a bunch of books. Okay, I've written a book. John Maxwell's written books. Napoleon Hill's written books. You may have written books. Read. Learn new information because if you want to change what you're getting, you got to change what you're doing. And if you want to change what you're doing, you got to change what you believe. Period. The reason you do what you do is because you believe what you believe. Period. And by the way, just because you believe it doesn't make it true.
That's right.
You're not good enough, brother. You didn't graduate. Don't you listen to your mother? That's what your mother was telling you. That's what your dad told you. Okay? Bullshit. You can believe lies. And if you believe it, it makes you decide what you decide, act like you act, think like you think. So how do you change that? New information. Read books every single day. Get more valuable every single day. Think every single day. Your brain is miraculous, dude. It'll never run out of thinking power. Your phone dies after a day. Your brain will never run out of the ability to think. You need to think more. Getting new information makes you think more. The more you think, the better off you are, the more valuable you are, the more freaking opinionated you are, the more firm and confident you are. So these 6 things will get you this confidence, right? It takes a while, folks, but you got to keep going. We all fall short, right? Someone will tell us something. We'll start listening to them. We'll make a post on social media and we'll delete it because someone talked crap. Oh, Jenny didn't like it. Oh, Happy Pants 501 said I was arrogant. I better get rid of that. What if everybody thinks I'm a dick? When you're thinking like this, folks, it's because you don't value yourself enough. Screw what they think. Value what you think. And if you don't value what you think, do this over and over and you will start to. Once you start to, okay, now you're ready to go out and build a personal brand. Why? Because you have something to say. If you're the personal brand, if you're the content and your content's shitty, that means you're shitty. Because if you do it my way, you're going to be the content. I want to see you talking to customers. I want to see you talking to your kids. I want to see you closing a deal. I want to see you writing your book. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinion. I want to know you. That's how I get to trust you and like you and buy from you. Okay? So those sacred 6 will get you to a level where now you built a relationship with yourself. Because if you want to make more money, folks, all income is derived from relationships. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. End of story. So guess what? If money comes from relationships, why wouldn't you want more? And if you're like, well, of course I would. Well, how come you're not out introducing yourself? How come you're not putting stuff on social media? How come your shit's on private? Like, why is your social media on private? I guarantee you somebody here has got a private social media account. That's the equivalent of saying, none of your damn business. That's who I am. Okay? You're not going to make any money like that, folks. Trust me. You want to go, you want to be out there. You want to be seen. You want to be heard. The more attention you get, the better off you are. I don't care what you've been taught. I'm telling you, that's the truth. Okay, so you got to build yourself up with the Sacred Six until you start to walk a little taller and start to value yourself a little bit more, and it will happen no matter what. And then you start to raise your self-image and your self-worth, because you're never going to outperform your own self-image. So you want to do that first, and then you want to basically follow these 5 things. Number 1, content. You are the content. I want to see what you do every day. I want to see your podcast. I want to watch you coach people. I want to see you close deals. I want to see you deal with customers. I want to see you build your company. Okay. Step 2 is the creative. Somebody has to take that footage and add the headlines and the subtitles and the hashtags. That's the creative. Somebody has to cut out the ums and the ahs and the bull crap. Now you can do it yourself, but you don't need to. Okay. Again, to me, you can hire a virtual assistant to edit your crap that you filmed all day. Okay, you film 8 hours worth of crap, send it to a virtual assistant, pay them $200 a week, make them chop it up and be the creative. Add the headlines, add the things. Okay, that's the creative. Then you need the outlet. What outlets do you have? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of them. Okay, you want them all. If you don't have an account on all of those, especially YouTube, you need to go get it. Because you're going to be found on YouTube better than you'll be found anywhere else. I've never logged into Instagram and said, how do I invest in property? How do I write a book? I've never logged into Instagram and said, how do I do this? I've never logged into LinkedIn. How do I write a book? But I have on YouTube. So you want your crap on YouTube. YouTube is the key. You make all the content for YouTube, and then you create micro content from it and put it on all the other channels, which will drive your levels up and up and up. Then you want your frequency. It's 2 to 3 times per day per channel. You're like, holy crap, Brad, that's a lot. No, it isn't. Okay, that's not very much at all. But you need 2 to 3 posts per channel per day. And then the last one is your boost. Okay, that's the question: is how much money have you invested to get people to see and know who you are and what your content looks like? Now, again, you're not going to do this, folks, if you don't believe in yourself. You're not going to do it if you're questioning your content. You're not going to do it without the confidence I just showed you how to create. But once you do it, you're going to make more money than you ever had. You're going to get more business than you ever have. And when you do, remember, folks, the money that you're making, as soon as you start taking it, it's no longer helping you. When I started my business, I was broke. I had child support. I had all kinds of issues. But I'd make $10,000 and I'd take 5, go hire somebody. Get back to 10,000 twice as quick because there's 2 of us, grab 5 and go hire somebody. I could have got a nicer house. I could have got nicer things. I could have got caught up on my bills. I did not. Why? Because that money, although it was there and it was mine and I could have taken it, I used the money as a tool to grow and expand. And I knew that one day that money would be so massively great every month that there would be massive amounts left over and I would still have all the tools. I mean, if you think, I'm going to close with this. Think about walking up to somebody, they're building a birdhouse. You say, what are you doing? They say, I'm building a birdhouse. And they're using a butter knife. And you look over and they've got a whole shed full of tools. I mean, everything you can think of. They got a tool shed. It's just, it's got all the things you need. And you say, well, why don't you use the tools? And they say, no, I'm saving those. I'm saving those in case I want to build something someday. So I'm just going to sit here and use my butter knife. Folks, don't use a butter knife, okay? Don't use a butter knife. Build a personal brand. Scale your business by focusing on people and technology. And if you want the simplest way I can put it, mindset, skill set, and habits. If you focus on your mindset, your skill set, and your habits, you'll be unstoppable. And then you can turn your purpose into profit 10 times easier. Back to you, Coach.
All right, everybody, give Bradley a big hand for joining us today. Thank you, big guy. We love you. We appreciate you. You are the real Brad Lee. Thank you for blazing the trail for us, man. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me, buddy.